Welcome to Dream and Do, a podcast for women who are chasing their dreams, rediscovering who they are, and are ready to make changes, big or small. I'm your host, Nicola Ray Wickham. Join me for confidence pep talks, soulful insights, and practical tips on all things creativity and wellness, along with powerful conversations with women who are dreaming and doing in action. This is the stuff you're going to wish you knew years ago, but don't worry, it's not too late. Let's get started. Hey loves, how are you? Today I'm talking about energy. Really excited about this topic. I know I probably say that each episode, but protecting and honouring your energy. Oh, I could talk about it all day, and in a roundabout way, I kind of do. For me, honouring your energy is the ultimate in self-care. We hear loads about self-care at the moment, and I'm really glad that we do because it's bringing it to the forefront. It's making it really important and showing just how important it is. And if it's going to make women like me and you take better care of ourselves, then that's always a good thing. And yep, self-care isn't about just getting manicures and getting hair done and getting a massage and all of the outside external stuff. It's also about the inner work. And that's where I kind of light up talking about that kind of stuff. And protecting and honouring your energy is something that I bang on about all the time. If you follow me on Insta, you would have seen it. And in this episode, I'm going to break down what it is that I mean by it. Because if you're not kind of within the spiritual and or self-helpy, I hate that word, circles, then it may not be a term that you're familiar with. You might be like, say what? So I'm going to break down what it kind of means. And then I'm going to talk to you about some ways that you can protect your energy because it's so important. It's a game changer. Protecting and honouring our energy is one of the greatest gifts that you can give to yourself. So I'm less about the push and more about the ease. And believe me when I say that's been a journey, but please hear me when I say it's not about not doing the work. I'm not adverse to hard work and hustle. In fact, that is kind of almost a default for me. But by having an awareness and being tuned into your own energy, you can make things a whole lot easier on yourself. Like how I see it as there is enough out there in the world that might be trying to kind of get you down or get in your way or just bringing challenging shit to your door. So you don't need to be creating more of it for yourself, and being tuned into your energy can make things a lot easier. So when we talk about getting in your own way, there's many ways that we can get in our own way, but by dishonouring your energy, it's a surefire way to get in your own way. So what is energy? I know some of you are going to be asking, and energy, as I see it and what I know to be true, is that it's our life force. It is our being and it's our essence. It's our state of mind, body and soul at any given time. And we go through phases with our energy and with our state of mind, body and soul. We go through phases with it. So we might be hyped up and excited at some times and be ready to take on the world. And at other times we just want to hibernate. Other times we just feel drained of energy and tired. Other times we might be feeling more reflective. There's a whole spectrum of ways that we can be feeling in ourselves. And that essentially is our energy. It's more than your emotions though. It's a holistic view of it. So if your body is tired and achy, that feeds into your energy just as much as where your mind is at as well as where your emotions are. So it's very much looking at the whole of you, not just saying, oh, because I'm in pain with one part, then that dictates everything. It's not quite like that. And it's really difficult to describe because I can't tell you where your energy's at. You have to take the time to tune into yourself and answer that for yourself. And it isn't a kind of long drawn out process at all. It's just taking a few moments to say, how do I feel at the moment? Like, what is it that I need more of and what is it that I need less of? That question is gold dust. What do I need more of and what do I need less of? Because that can kind of dictate where you are. And the more that you do it, the more that you are not on autopilot, not walking around the world kind of sleepwalking on autopilot, but the more that you're tuned into you and you've given yourself permission to feel and to really just be, the more you're able to tune into your own energy. And as a creative person, I know that this is speaking to you, because you know when you're in flow and you've got that creative energy going, you know when you might be experiencing the equivalent of whatever you do, of writer's block, or you're in a state of comparisonitis, or you're just really bloody knackered. But it's those ebbs and flows that you feel. And in modern life, especially as women, we're told just to keep on going, go, 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 push, 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 and to not honour that energy, it's not okay to step back and take that break, or to not do that thing at that time. I'm going to go into this in more detail, but yeah, modern life hasn't always afforded us the permission, if you like, to work within our energy. And so that's what I'm loving about the self-care movement, because it's allowing us to turn that focus back on us and actually take control and do that. I feel so called to talk upon this notion of honouring your energy, not only because, like I mentioned, modern life, kind of that vision of that woman, she just keeps on going, no matter where her energy's at. Her energy just has to be on point all the time. And that's not realistic. That's not sustainable. That's not any of the realities of any of us. But I also feel called to talk upon it because it is no one else's responsibility other than your own. Like, no one is going to take responsibility for your energy for you. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't, because it's a deeply personal thing. The thing that energizes me is not going to be the thing that energizes you, especially then not at that exact same time. And only you can have that deep knowing of what it is that you need, and somebody else can't do that for you. It's not their job to do it for you, but they couldn't even if they wanted to. Everyone's different. Everyone has different needs. So it really has to come from you. Where I want to start with this is that honouring your energy and protecting, therefore, that energy is a journey of getting to know yourself. And so it goes back to the question that I just posed. What do you need more of and what do you need less of? And a move on from that is to know what energizes you and gives you life and what doesn't. And if you're not able to sit there in a moment and say what that is, then what you can do is a little experiment. So, I'm going to say to bring out the journal, because I love me some journaling, but it's as you walk through your day, like whether you want to do it as written down in a journal, on a notebook, or you just pop it into your phone. But as you go through your day, just noticing how you feel at different points and just checking in with yourself at different points. So you've had that encounter, how are you doing? What else happened to you today? Kind of, how did you wake up? How did you sleep? How have you been eating? Did you go outside and get some exercise? And noticing how your behavior and your actions is impacting on your energy. And that can be done, like I said, like it's an experiment to monitor what that is. And that will show you in black and white the answer to that question, what energizes you and lights you up and what just absolutely sucks the life out of you. Because once you know that, once you get to know yourself from that point, then you can start to navigate the world in a different kind of way. And this absolutely isn't about avoidance. Like if there is a certain situation that you know is just going to drain your energy, like you're at work and you've got big meetings, big pitch meetings, for instance, and you know that you get really nervous and blah, blah, blah. But the reality is that you're not going to be able to remove yourself from those meetings. It is fear that is fueling the change in your energy. That's fine because you've recognized that. So it's not about saying, okay, I'm never going to do a pitch meeting again, but it's about, well, what can you do to support yourself when you know you've got one of those coming up prior to it and then afterwards as well. So it's just kind of giving yourself the space to get to know yourself and be accommodating. And I have to say, it's not about avoiding scary things or avoiding things that don't always make us feel good, because in life, sometimes it's unavoidable. But what we're talking about are the things that you've got the control of, but you've got the awareness to be able to navigate it in a way that just suits you better. I've totally alluded to this previously in this episode, but being able to take a break when you need one is one of the biggest ways that you can honor your energy. This is one that has taken me a long time to get to. Like I said, I'm like wired on the hard work and hustle mode. It's beliefs that have been long ingrained into me from my West Indian parents who came here to work. And so that is one that I'm half unlearning, half not. It's complicated. But what it does mean is that I'm willing to listen to my body and take a break. So even as far as Christmas just gone, I got the flu and I was forced. It felt like the universe reached her hand down and was like, I am going to force you to do this. And I was forced to take a break when I wouldn't have done. I hadn't planned to. I had like exciting stuff planned and it was hard, but I needed to honor my energy. And it wasn't just kind of mainly when I had the flu, because you're so knocked out, you have no choice. But it was in the recovery. It took me ages to get over it, to feel like myself. I was just knackered for weeks. And it's that kind of knackeredness where you can still push through because you're so used to pushing through, or you can honor your energy and just take a break. And you'll know where it is that you need to take that break. Maybe it's not going onto social media for a few days and having a digital detox. Maybe it's not being so knee deep in emails. Maybe it's a break from actual work. It might even be a break from certain people. Deciding who is in your inner circle is a big part of protecting your energy. Who do you want to be around and who can frankly F off? Who do you want to share your world with, share your ideas with? People can be such energy sucks. Like, I know that you know who they are for you. And yeah, sometimes you can't just get rid of them because they're just too close for that. It's not possible. But being able to manage the contact you have with them, or how much you allow them to infiltrate your mind and your thoughts, is a big step forward. So being really aware of who you allow into your inner circle and who you're surrounding you with, and whether they are lighting you up or bringing you down. And that segues really nicely into my next point, which is about boundaries. Have freaking boundaries, peeps. Like, you can have them and you need to have them. What will you and will you not allow? People respond to us in the way that we allow them to respond to us, and the precedent that we create. So if it's that you are checking your work emails of a late evening and weekend, and then you're responding to those emails, that then sets the precedent. You've not set up that boundary, or you're taking client calls at ridiculous o'clock, or it's all kind of, you're allowing the PTA at your kids' school to take the piss, like whatever it is. I believe people need boundaries so that they know how they can work with you. So much when I talk to women, they're like, yeah, but I would never do that to somebody, so I don't expect them to do that to me. But in this life, we can only have integrity for our own actions, and we can't expect others to act within the value system, belief system, the way that we act. And so And that's to put no judgment on other people, but just because that's the way that you would come at it doesn't mean somebody else would. So it's your responsibility to put the boundaries in place and decide who it is that you want around you. A fab way to exercise those boundaries is to say no. Oh my goodness, the amount of women that have a problem with saying no. Practice it. That's what I say, practice it. Say the no and realize that really nothing bad happens. It gets easier to keep on saying it. One of my masterminders has chosen I got my masterminders to choose a word of the year. And one of my masterminders has got a couple of words, but one of them is no. And I applauded her when she gave that one because it's brilliant. It's remembering that actually it's okay for me to say no. It's necessary for me to say no. And it's me setting up boundaries and putting myself first. So with this one, I'm taking a slightly different tact, but it's about charting your menstrual cycle because that has a real practical implications on your energy, not only on your physical energy, your mental energy, but it's kind of everything. And charting your cycle to know what season you're in, winter, autumn, spring or summer, can really help you to be able to predict your energy levels, and so that you might be able to kind of move around your schedule accordingly, but at least you've got the awareness, like my period's coming, so that's why I feel like I want to kind of rip the head off of anyone that comes within 5 meters, or I'm in this season and that's why maybe I'm feeling really fiery or I'm feeling really vulnerable. But I believe that having the knowledge through charting your cycle is really powerful, and allows you to be able to kind of plan a little bit more, which is brilliant, but also you can start to manage it. So I would say chart your cycle, and you can liken it to the moon as well. So I'm going to be getting an expert in to talk to us about both of those things, about charting and about the lunar cycles, because they are kind of linked. But it just gives you that extra. I'm all about giving you tools for your toolkit to help you navigate your creative and wellness journey, and charting your cycle can absolutely do that. So you would have seen that there's a kind of common thread about honoring your energy, and it's about that awareness. It's about knowing yourself, and what lights you up and what doesn't, and it's knowing about the external factors as well and how they impact you. And so this final point that I want to make is about being mindful about the way that you use and consume the internet. And I have to say the internet rather than anything else, because that is just where we go for all of our information. And there's a hell of a lot of information there. So whether it's like you're Googling to find the answer for something, you're watching the news or social media is a biggie, but being mindful of what you're allowing into your space, because that has an effect on your energy levels. If you're going to be watching the news before you go to bed, our unconscious minds take in that information, and that's what you're going to be processing throughout your sleep. So even if you don't wake up thinking about the news or anything like that, it's going to be in your mind. If you decide to watch like a really scary horror movie or something ultra disturbing before you go to bed, that's what your unconscious mind is going to be processing, and it will then have an impact on your energy, even if that's at an unconscious level. So being mindful of what you're allowing in, and social media is a biggie. So many people like social media, scrolling through their Facebook feeds or Instagram feeds, it gets them down. Have a cull. Curate it like you would a dinner party. If you don't want those people around you, or you don't want that energy, you don't want to hear kind of that kind of stuff, it's just it's just too much, then stop it. Either don't go on, either change up who you're looking at. And it doesn't have to be like, for me, when I talk about the news, I'm not saying never watch the news, but be mindful of the effect it might have on you, and therefore amend the way that you consume it accordingly. So I wouldn't recommend looking at it just before you go to bed, for instance, because you will guaranteed notice a difference in your energy levels. The Daily Mail website, sidebar of doom. That can affect your energy levels. For some people, it might be Twitter. It's going to be different for all of us, but I guarantee there will be something around social media that has an impact of your energy levels if you're not aware of it. And that's why I say use it consciously. Well, you know, when you're scrolling Instagram and as you're scrolling, like the comparisonitis is just fueling up, that's then impacting your energy levels. So when you sit down to go and create something, it's not coming. And we can track that back to the incessant scrolling on Instagram. That is just an example. So be aware of what you're consuming, how you're consuming it, and when you're consuming it, because that is all part of protecting our energy levels. So I really hope that you found this episode on energy useful, and it's made you think about ways that you can be protecting your energy better. I'd love to hear from you. Like, reach out to me on Insta or on Facebook and let me know what your thoughts are on it. Is it something completely new to you? Is it something that you're aware of? I would love to know. In the intro to the podcast, I talk about the things that we're going to discuss are going to be things that you'd wish you'd known years ago, but it's not too late. And this is one of those prime examples. I only learned this when I started my self-discovery and spiritual journey, and I wish somebody had told me about it when I was a lot younger. Like, I can't wait to tell my little girl about this stuff, because it's things that can help you to navigate life more easier, and it's stuff that can help you to attract in what it is you want to attract in and start to be in a place where you can start to live your dreams. And you know what? To experience everyday joy and just feel better every damn day. Thank you for listening. It is so appreciated. If you like what you heard, help your girl out by subscribing on iTunes and leaving a review. And I'll be picking out a reviewer each month to receive a very special affirmation card and print pack. So get over there to get yours. Sending you love and light as always, and I will see you really soon.